Okay, sorry about that, guys. I'm a little late because my streaming program decided that it was not going to cooperate, and so I had to shut it down, and now I am back. So what we're doing, in last hour on YouTube, I started doing some Zentangle, and actually this is more what I like. Hi, Ezra. This is more what I'd like to do. So I think what I'm going to do, rather than drawing on here, I think I might, if I can do a display capture. So hang on a second, let me see if I can get this right. How about now? How about now? All right, cool. Yeah, I just need to. I have a lot of microphones, you guys, and it's funny because sometimes one will work and the other will not in different situations. So I'm always having to kind of figure that out. And so what I want to do here is, I think I'm going to just go ahead and leave it because I'm not at my keyboard. All right, so I'm going to start with a line, with a few lines. Oh, wait a minute. I don't want to make that line. Take out my node tool. Oh, I guess I didn't have that one. Okay. Wait, yes I did. Okay. All right, so I want to deselect that, and then let me actually create a thicker line. All right, I'm just going to make it a 4-point, and then deselect that, get my pen. Hopefully it'll do, oops, a 4-point again. Yes, it will. Very good. Deselect. Pull it over a little bit. No, Hey, how you doing? No, I wasn't talking. I'm kind of doing some meditative Zentangle because it's been a week. And so, yeah, sorry about that. I did get your messages though, and I will take care of that by Friday. Oops. Stop. Okay. If I were at my keyboard, this would be a little bit easier because I could use the buttons and the mouse, but that's not where I'm at. And so, let's see. Let's actually copy this, paste it, and then flip it around. There we go. Yeah, there are easy ways to do things, and I find them out sometimes. Okay, so what I'm going to do next here is I am going to select each one and just sort of, actually I want a node in the center. And then maybe scoot this over a little bit. And then I'm going to do that same thing with all of them. They do not need to be exactly the same. You know, you can just do them whatever way you like. Oops. You just need a node in the center. And then you can just sort of, and as you move this one over here, it's going to do something to this side as well. And then you can also adjust it a little bit further. And this is just a real simple way to do it. Oops, I don't want that one. I wanted this. Okay. I keep doing that. Middle node, bend. Yeah, I think that's all it's going to be, huh? Is grab this, middle node, bend. And for some reason this one didn't really do much, did it? Which one is that? Interesting. Oh, okay. I see. Hello. Welcome, Anish. I'm doing Zentangle, but digital. All right, so next one is going to be this one. Select, node, and then bend. And I think we just got one more or two more maybe. How come this didn't do this? So we're just going for basically, you know, kind of a uniform look, but it doesn't have to be perfect. It can just be, wait a minute, What am I doing wrong here? Oh, I know what. It's because this looks weird. All right, and so one more. And so Zentangle is actually, here, let me see if I can pull that up for you real quick. Maybe you will be able to see. If you could see this, Zentangle is basically just drawing like different patterns, you know, and if you're really into it, you can do like really cool stuff like this, but we're just doing some simple things, like, let's see. I mean, this is a really cool way to draw, and it's super, super chill, and like I was saying before, meditative, you know. Okay, so anyway, let me really quick show you the one on my desk, and you can see this one. So this is one that I did digitally, and this one too. And so I'm just sort of, you know, creating something similar to that. And yeah, so I should have introduced myself. In case you don't know me, my name's Christy. I'm with Junk Journal Boss. We run the business together, Ezra and I, and which is, I keep forgetting how to say XRA Earthling. How do you say that, Ezra? Please tell me, because I'm over 50 and I forget things. So anyway, we're just going to draw something like this. I actually did this with a pen. Extra Earthling. Okay, extra. Got it. So I'm just drawing this, and what I do with those things, this, I didn't really do much with it as far as Zentangle went, but I did include it in this junk journal. And this is what I did, was I made it like a pocket page. And so now I can put things inside of here. And I don't know if I put the other one in here, but I'm not real sure. But I definitely did put that one. And what I like to do is create paper and then make junk journals out of it. Bye, Mo. Have a good rest of the day at work. So that's what I'm doing. So I like to create the papers first and, you know, just do all the details and stuff like that. I usually will scan them and print them so I can save the originals. And then I start putting together a book. So the next one I'm going to do probably will also include this Zentangle. So I'm going to go back to what I was doing, and I hope that helps. Let's see. And back here. All right. So there we go. Now, this is a little bit more difficult to do without a pen. Oh, really? I should play with Kylie Fortnite. I heard she was really mean. I also am really mean at Fortnite. So there you go. How do you guys like me now? So the next thing I would do, if I were working without a, that's cool. If I were working without a pen, I probably would do something like, you know, make this and just sort of, but this is sort of overkill now, you know, if I were to do this, but I might, you know, do something like convert to curves, bring this all the way up, bring this over to here, and do this. What kind of drawing do you do, Anish? I'd like to know. So now I can take some of my assets of some of the papers that I've made maybe, or here's one. And I can actually bring this over here, go to layers, drop that in. Oops. I put that there. But anyway, that's just a fun thing. That's not really Zentangle. But if you were to do like Zentangle, you could drop this in. So theoretically, I could drop it in there, but I'm not going to. That's just a fun aside. So so in here you can put like patterns and things. So let's see. Now let me actually do this because I think I've got 40 minutes left and I'm not sure I'm going to be able to like draw every single one of these, but let's just try it. Yeah, I like drawing. It's fun. I'm actually just starting to get into drawing more, like on a more serious level. But you know, it's kind of it's kind of aside from my work, so it's still like a fun thing, you know, to do. So, all right, and so we're just gonna scooch these around right here. And this is a good way to do this if you are savvy with a program similar to Affinity or with Affinity. Just a hobby, yeah. I design digital papers as well as Ezra Extra Earthling, and you know, we make journals, we sell journals on Etsy, folios really, but this is just sort of, you know, the live stream is just something I do, you know, every week, and it's fun. It's just something cool to do. Let's see. I mean, you really could use any, in my opinion, you could use any kind of design, right? And so, and if you wanted it to be black and white, I believe we can do that. Hi, Darla. I'm using Affinity. And so, oh, look at that. That's really cool. Yeah, I'm using Affinity Designer too. And I really love this this program because it helps me to be able to do lots of different things. Okay, so there's my black and white. And so let me bring in another. Yes, you can. Adobe Express, Adobe Illustrator, Clip Studio, probably the one that people use on their iPads. I can't remember what that one's called. But you can use a lot of different things to do stuff like this. So now I am just going to drop these in. And so, let's see. And let's get this one again. Copy, paste, bring it over. And basically I'm just doing the same exact thing, and it's really fast. And in a second, let me do this. Where did that go? Okay. Let this be down here. So that when I turn it, it will go like that. And so I'm basically, what I'm doing is I'm drawing on the computer. I'm just taking each one of these. I don't want that layer. I want this layer. And just kind of moving the nodes around. That's what these are. So that I can create a design. And probably I will use it because these, well, they're not all my design, but they're changed enough and they're always commercial use. Either I use my own or I use commercial use stuff. So, hang on. But, yeah, you kind of wouldn't know. Actually, this one is commercial use too. I just changed the colors a lot on it. Okay, so anyway, this is how I would do it without a pen. If I did it with a pen, I would draw everything inside of the boxes. And so let's get a different design here. Chevrons. Yeah, let's try to get let's do that, and then let's change the color. So I'm gonna get the layer, and I am going to go down to, look at that, that's pretty cool actually. And the only reason it's like that is because there are two designs. And so I am going to delete one and then let it be like that, and then do, I think it was like luminosity maybe. Yeah. And so I feel like something different than chevrons would be better because of this, but we're gonna go with it. As a matter of fact, I know what to do. Oh, hang on. Check this out. Woohoo! It's the little things, guys. So I'm basically copying and pasting the ones above here because I've already done some work in them. And it just makes it a little faster. You know, copy and pasting. It's a good thing. So let's find a different one for this one, so that it doesn't look the same. Let me see what this looks like actually. Yeah, it's actually different, but I don't want another chevron. You guys do not let me do another chevron. Okay. Maybe not that one. Maybe something with a lot more. Oh, hang on. My program is just wanting to take a quick rest. So I'm going to take a drink of my Coke. And I'll get back to it in just a minute. All right, there we go. All good now. Let me look at the layers and see if I actually did drag it over, and I did not. Okay. So obviously you're not going to draw stuff like this, but if you wanted to do it on the computer, this is how I would do this, because it just feels better, you know what I mean? Like it's okay. It just feels like it's going to be faster. Okay, not there. So sometimes you have to just kind of move stuff around. And let me find this paper and kind of, all right, not that one, this one. Okay, this looks good. And now I'm going to hit luminosity on this. And so it's just basically kind of like that. Yeah, I think you're right. Procreate, GIMP Studio. So let me see if the tablet thing will reach. So hang on. Yeah, maybe not. Okay, so I'll just do it with my mouse. It takes a little bit longer, but let's see. Oh, actually, no. This is actually going to be easy now that I'm thinking about it. I just need to choose a brush and then I can paint inside of one. So what I need to do first is to make a layer. And so I guess I'll copy and paste this one. And let me change this to here. Scooch that over a little bit and start adjusting. Okay. I like to have as few nodes as I can because it's just cluttery otherwise. So I hope this isn't too boring, you guys, because it's not really junk journaling, but it is something I am starting to do. And let's see. Uh-oh. Not you, not you, not you. Let's put you at the top. And we scooch this mode in, or this node in. Okay, so now I'm gonna remove this background here. And so maybe this isn't really turning out to be Zentangle, guys. Maybe this is just something that's just coming to me right now. So I can use, you know, whatever kind of brush I want. I like these patterns. And so I am going to try a few until I like one. Maybe I'll use like a stipple. Oh, that's actually weird. It like goes over. Let's see. I don't really like that. Okay, we're not going to use any of these. So I see what it wants to do. Okay. We're going to do that. And then we are going to, let's see, it's our layer. Yeah, I'm going to take this line off. And then I am going to, hopefully, maybe it will allow me to brush or to do inside, but no. Okay, let's try a different idea. And go to the pixel persona, and I believe if I'm choosing the right layer, then I can just go in and just, you know, do some coloring if I want to. But that isn't the one I want to do. And this kind of looks weird. Oh well, I can always fix it later. Okay, so I am going to choose something over here. And I can just kind of do it, you know, paint it like that. But I think what I want to do is do something like a watercolor effect. And so let's see how that does. And we are wanting to use the paintbrush. And I want to make this bigger because I don't want to spend a whole bunch of time and keep doing a whole bunch of different layers. Okay, not big enough. Okay, so let me go back to the regular persona here and make the corrections on the nodes, and then we should be good. So this might seem kind of complicated, and you know, you might just be like, you know what, forget that. I am not going to do it this way ever. And I get it. I totally get it. But for those of you that want to learn something like this, it's really, really fun. It's really fun to learn how to actually create your own stuff. And like I said, I use this to create, I use Affinity to create my ephemera and things like that, papers and stuff. And then I also use, you know, just, you know, by hand. I do some things that way as well. And it's really fun. And then I scan it in, and that turns out really cool too. I don't know what's going on up here, but it wants to be weird. So this actually, you know, as you can see, offers more flexibility as far as what you can put inside. And so that's a different, you know, it probably wouldn't be Zentangle necessarily. And if you want to know how to actually do the Zentangle by hand, you can go to YouTube and watch the video from today, the live stream, and see me do that. But this has actually gone pretty well. I like it so far. I guess we could call it digital. But it's not going to be as meditative, right? So, because it's just dropping stuff in, but it's a quick way. And does anybody have any questions? Not you, you. Oops, let's see, let's undo that. So what I'm doing now is I'm bringing the center down to here, so that when I move this, it will move like this, which is a lot easier than just, sure, have a good night, Darla. Good to see ya. All right, and so let's remove this and see what other kinds of brushes we can use. And let's go into the pixel persona because there are more choices. And I think I've got, here's some textures. And there's all kinds of different ones. This is kind of interesting right here. So let's go with that. and then remove the stroke, and then let's see, I've got that. Let's pick this, and then just start. Uh-oh, now what's happening? Oh, wrong one. All right, in the wrong place. I have to be working here, see? But instead of doing that, like I said before, when the cursor or the brush is small, it creates a lot of like uneven. So I like to just make it really big and just, okay, thank you. And this is sort of that comic book look, right? All right, so I don't like that. I did like it, but I think I'm going to like it better if the brush is enormous, not that enormous. Okay, I think this will be a good size. Okay, so anyway, what are we at? 3:42. So I got about 20 more minutes. Does anybody want me to demonstrate anything, or do you have any questions about actual junk journaling or anything like that? Because I'm just goofing around, you know, just chilling because, you know, sometimes you just got to. I'm actually gonna, oops. And then I gotta go back over here, fix the nodes, and it's just basically that. I would do my pen, maybe I could do that like once I figure out how to have every single thing in the world plugged into my computer, and because that's what would have to happen. And yeah, so, but I can do like a demo of just simply drawing, and that would be a fun thing. So now, let's see if we can do something. Hang on a sec. Let me see if maybe I can. I'm trying to figure out how to do this like more easily. Oh well, it doesn't really matter. Let's just go through. This isn't taking very long. So like these ones here that I'm choosing are much easier. Oops, let's actually remove this pixel. And then, oh, that's the same one. I thought I had chosen a different one. Okay, let's go to engraving, and then we can just grab one of these here. I'll just get this one, and we'll make this big. And you know, so some of these designs you really can just do yourself. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so goodness, guys, it goes from like 400 to like a kajillion. Let's see what this does. Let's see. Let's make it a little teeny bit smaller. I think this might work. And now let's and so you can actually probably do your own, you know, kind of designs like that. And it can be any design really that if you want to draw, you know what I mean? You can make by hand chevrons and, you know, different colored dots and whatever, you know. But I just need to tell you that I'm a little bit intrigued here because I've never done it this way. So I gotta say that I'm sort of learning something right here too. Let's pull this down a little bit. There we go. Okay, cool. So now I can drop this one. Uh-oh. Edit, undo that, and just gonna work on this one. And so it might feel like a little bit tedious and or hard, you know, because it's not, there is some work to learning, you know, how to use a program like this. It's pretty good though. All right. Part of the problem is that I have move this up to the top and remove that pixel layer. And then we'll try something different. Let me try something. Oh yeah, look at that. How about this one? Ugh, it's not gonna let me grab that. I kind of like that with the extra splatters. What do you guys think? Okay, so that is that one. And this, oh, okay, I'll leave those there, but we need to get out of here now. And I think what I want to do is add that back. Stop this. Let's see. Guess I can just do this one. Maybe next week what I'll do is after I've finished this up and printed it out and everything, maybe I could use it in on a junk journal page, you know, on a journal page of some sort or some ephemera or whatever, just so you can see, you know, because it doesn't look like anything now, you know. But I really enjoyed using the Zentangle pages in the junk journal that I just did, the black and white and yellow and pink one. All right, let's find another brush. Actually, let's go over here and do something maybe a little bit. let's see what's in my assets again. I can pick a plaid if we want to. And I think I want something with contrast and something simple, so I'll do that. And in the layers, I just want to put that on top of here, and then change the luminosity. And if I want to, on any of these things, you know, I can pick this one and change the opacity to it. So say I wanted like all light, like just really light ones, I can change them all to light, you know, the same opacity or something similar or whatever. You guys snoozing yet? You guys are going along for a ride with me today. Oh, it looks fun. Yeah, you could try it. It's super fun. It's interesting once you start using a like a designing program, because there's so much you can do with it, and you'll just keep finding more and more things that you can do with it. It's pretty cool. And scoot you over a little bit. That looks better. And so I think what I'll do is I'll finish this up and then I'll bring it back, and I may combine it with gel prints. And if you want, I'll show you. Did I already show you guys my gel prints? I don't think I did. So at our last retreat, the art and junk journal retreat, Cassandra Lawrence taught us about, let me change the camera. She taught us about gel printing. Okay, and basically what that is that you have this size I have, and the whole thing's like jelly. It's super floppity and weird and stuff. And you put paint on it, and if you're really good, you put a few layers, and then you put a piece of paper over it, and you let the paper pull all the paint off. So these were all ones that I was just kind of goofing around with. And when I started to look through these for some papers that matched the cover that I had made, oh, excuse me, here, I ended up pulling out this one and a few others that had, you know, those colors, and that's how I got a cohesive book, junk journal. So anyways, these are really super easy to do. These are all, I'm super new at this, okay guys? So you know, there are people that do this gel prints really awesome, and they can do like magazine pages and all kinds of stuff like that, and it's just pretty fabulous. So I'll show you those ones in a bit, but these are just kind of, you know, what they came out looking like. All I did was put like a couple globs of paint and just, you know, use a brayer over it, and then pull the paper, the page, the print. And some of them come out really pretty, and I'm probably going to end up somehow making a paper set out of some of these. I think I'll probably end up doing this one. And there's another page to it as well. But this is the cover. But yeah, so I don't know where that other page is. Anyhow, that's how I would use the Zentangle also. I would probably print this out like I did with this one. You know, I print it out. After I draw it, I scan it, and then I print it, the PDF. And then after that, what I did was, I know this doesn't look that awesome, but after that, what I did was I just picked up the paint off of the leftover paint that was on the gel print, or the gel plate, and that's kind of what I got with that. So you know, it was like my first time doing it, so there's that. But I know that I can do a lot of really cool things. I'll show those to you guys later. But these are just kind of, you know, these are just like a base for me, you know, to create, you know, some really cool designs and stuff. And you can do stuff like this on the gel plate. It didn't work out very well for me. I only, you know, I think in the first day I did probably like 40 of these. And out of those 40, and some of them are really ugly like this one here. And out of those 40 though, I was able to pull together some really cool things. And then what I did with them is I began doodling on them, you know, and just making little dots and drawing some things, you know, just decorating them because they looked a little bit plain, you know. So this is probably the first one I did, and then this one's the second one. Let me put them this way. And so basically what I did was kind of what I would do for Zentangle, but I just did it without borders. Zentangle without borders, that's funny. And I did this one as well, which I really super like. And I did this one, which is I have a mess up down here, so I want to turn it over so you see the pretty part. But I really like this kind of design, and so I drew that with acrylic on top of the I can't remember if I did it on top of here or I did it on top of the actual page, the painted one. And so this one, you know, I just drew some squares on it, and you really can just do whatever you want with it. This one I wrote affirmations, like, you know, a bunch of positive affirmations. And for this I would use this probably, I wouldn't probably coffee dye it necessarily like the physical thing, but I would give it like a coffee dyed vintage look, and adjust the colors and things like that to look vintagey, and then I would use it like as a background. So, but the paper I pulled was just, this paint was all just kind of scraps that were left on the plate itself. So there's that one again. I think I might have printed these a couple times. Okay, so here's actually the whole set that I had, was these two really cool pages. And then this is what I meant by it not, I think somebody asked last hour, you know, if I was going to sell these. And, you know, I could, except that you would get it without all of these extra pen marks and stuff like that. So if you guys like this, I can scan it and put it in a set or whatever. I don't know if I'm going to sell it or not, or it might be like a goodie that's given away in Patreon or something like that. So, and also here's the other page that's just not that great, right? You know, it just has a couple things on it, but a couple really, really cool things. So when I used these pages, I just used, you know, cut them in half and used them, and this is what I ended up with. You know, I ended up just kind of drawing around some of those pages, like right here. This is this right here, you know. And so I just ended up, you know, doing some dots, putting some fabric and stuff, and you know, just using everything. And so I really like the idea of using everything. I'm kind of a trash to treasure person. So not so much anymore, but I was really a lot like that earlier. But now I've slowed down, so I've limited myself maybe to paper trash and cardboard. But anyways, so that's, you know, that's what I used for that. But when I got this, so this was just a page with I think it was four different of, you know, index cards on it. And then I filled it all in with stamps and things. And this one's actually my very favorite page. And you know, everything was created by me. So this was, I believe, the base page. I can't remember how this was made, but maybe these were all like maybe index cards or something, and I just sort of drew around it, and it just kind of looks crazy. And what I did with both of these is that I just kind of tore them up. I printed a few pages of these, and I tore them up, you know, or used, you know, a piece for the background or whatever. So anyways, that is what I have for you guys today, and I hope that you enjoyed this. I know it was unconventional from what I usually do, but it really is fun to have a lot of different opportunities to and skills. Sorry about the noise. Skills to create something that you really, really love, and I think this is probably my favorite one. You know, the cover's a little janky though, because I didn't think this was going to become anything, and I used some stupid some stupid cardboard that had like a crease here, and so it's all the way around, you know, the whole book. So anyway, that's what I got for you. Thanks for being here, you guys. I really appreciate you being here, and I will let you guys go and see you guys next Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube, and let's see, 3 p.m. on Twitch. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.